Welcome students. I am Dr. Professor Maria Fonseca, Principal St. Joseph Vaz College. My topic today will be on paper Biodiversity 1, paper code BOC 101. The module name is Range of Thallus Organization in Algae. The learning outcomes, what you are going to learn at the end of the topic is you will understand the thallus structure of different algae. You will learn about the thallus structure of unicellular and multicellular algae. Summarize the classification of algae based on thallus organization. The outline of my presentation is classification of algae based on thallus structure. Thallus structure of unicellular and multicellular algae. Thallus structure of non-motile and motile algae. You must have already gone through and know what are algae. You already studied about the characteristics of algae. Just a brief revision of the same. The plant body in algae is always a thallus. It is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Algae range in size from minute unicellular plants to very large, highly differentiated multicellular forms like the kelps, some of these seaweeds. The range of thallus organization algae may be classified as follows. The thallus in algae may be classified, or you can differentiate them into unicellular and multicellular forms. Unicellular are those that perform all the life function, a single cell, all the life functions are performed by one organism. While multicellular forms, you will have more than one cell which will do the functions of the whole body. The unicellular forms may be non-motile or motile. The non-motile unicellular forms, we may differentiate them as on the shape as coccoid or spiral. Now, coccoid unicellular forms are rounded, globular, with the absence of any locomotory organ. So, flagella are absent, no outgrowths are seen. While in case of spiral filamentous form, you have unicellular form which is filamentous, as in case of spirulina, where the whole form is spiral or coiled. Now, the motile unicellular forms, since they are motile, they show the presence of locomotory organ. So, we can consider them as flagellates where the flagella are present. Now, these are normally oblong, elongated, pear-shaped, as in case of Chlamydomonas, or they may be rhizopodial, where you will find flagella are absent, cell wall is absent, but there are cytoplasmic extensions which help them in amoeboid movement. Example, chrysoamoeba. Multicellular forms may be colonial, filamentous, siphonaceous or parenchymatous. Now, going to the colonial forms, what is the meaning of a colony? Colony are number of unicells we have come together, and all these cells are connected together in loose aggregate common mucilaginous mass. So, we have many unicellular cells in a gelatinous mass. Now, they may be synobium. Synobium is nothing but a colony of definite number of cells and size and arrangement. While aggregate again they are colonies, but the colony is with cells which are irregular, or colony forming irregular structure. The mass of these colonies may vary in shapes. Now, under synobium, again we have non-motile forms where you will find the non-motile unicells have come together in a gelatinous mass, and the number may range as in case of Synodasmus, we may have 4 to about 32, but these are all non-motile, they do not have any locomotory organ. Then we have the motile forms, as in case of Volvox, where you find the whole colony is made up of cells which are flagellate. The flagella or the locomotory organs are present. Now, in case of Volvox, you find that these flagella, the number of cells are connected to each other, and the whole colony propels with the help of these flagella. So, this is about Volvox and non-motile form. Now, going to the aggregate colonial forms. As I said, aggregate, they do not have exact number of cells and they may form an irregular shape of colonies. We have palmaloid, we have dendroid and rhizopodial. Palmaloid, you will find normally here you will find the cells which may be motile or non-motile, which come together and form temporary or a permanent colony. As in case of Tetraspora, we find it forms a permanent structure where unicells like Chlamydomonas with flagella have come together, and each of them has their own functions. Each of them perform or live there individually. Going to the dendroid form, from the structure itself, when you see these under the microscope, these looks like small miniature trees. We have example of Dinobryon, where the cells are arranged end to end and the mucilage is localized or restricted at the base. So that is in case of dendroid. That's the difference between dendroid and palmaloid. Rhizopodial type, we have examples of Chrysidiastrum, where you will find the cells of these are showing cytoplasmic streaming, and these cytoplasmic strands which are there are connected to each other by rhizopodials, or we call them as rhizopodials, forming a colony with mucilaginous mass around it. Then the filamentous form. Now filamentous form may be unbranched or branched. In unbranched form, we have forms like Spirogyra, where you will find cells are arranged end to end to form a filament. Now these may be floating, free floating in water, as in case of Spirogyra we find it is floating in water, or you may find the basal cell remain attached to the substratum, while the remaining cells form a filament. Now branched forms. In branched we may have falsely branched, we may have simple branching, heterotrichous branching or pseudoparenchymatous branching. In falsely branching, we have an example of Cytonema, where you find we have the filaments which are there. Sometimes the filaments, the other end of the filament or the broken bead of the other filament may come out from the mucilaginous mass to form a branch like structure. So since these are not the real branches, we call it as falsely branched. Then simple branching, you will find as in case of Cladophora, where you find the basal cell attached to the substratum and the filament which is erect, and we will find at the cross walls there will be formation of branches, simple branches, which leads to dichotomous type of branching. Going to the heterotrichous type, which is slightly highly evolved type, as we see in Ectocarpus. Here you will find it shows hetero meaning two, or different type when you can say, not two as such, but different type, where we have prostrate branching and erect branching. You can see the prostrate branching which creeps on the floor, okay, and shows again growth in that manner, and the erect branches will grow upward, growth taking place by the apical cell, and both of them are different from each other. We are going to the pseudoparenchymatous. Pseudo is false parenchymatous structure. It looks like parenchyma, but it is false. You will find the filaments which are there are tightly held together and they form a parenchyma like mass, but they are not real parenchyma. So in Polysiphonia we can see the siphons which are there are arranged in line, but they are all pseudoparenchymatous. Then we have the parenchymatous forms which are more advanced. We have example of Porphyra, where you will find the whole thallus is made up of parenchymatous cells, because the growth is not only in one plane, but the growth takes place in different planes. Therefore, it becomes folliose and flat. While you find in Sargassum, also coming under parenchymatous forms, it forms a more complex structure, where you find different type of branching and different type of structures are seen. We have lastly the siphonaceous forms. In siphonaceous forms, we have Vacheria. Now this Vacheria is a siphon like structure where you will find there is no septa formation. There is no septa, therefore we call it as aseptate thallus. The aerial and the prostrate thallus is seen. The thallus shows a number of nuclei and therefore we call it as cenocytic condition, where nuclei are there without any septa, and you will find this in Vaucheria. The septa may be forming only where the reproductive organs are born. That is about siphonaceous form, that is Vaucheria. Now for further reference, you can refer to the books like Pandey, Vashishta and others. Thank you students.